With the recent release of the Leaf, Nissan's first electric car, and the Chevy Volt, a plug-in hybrid, car manufacturers are beginning to sell the first mass-market electric vehicles to the public. Car companies estimate that 1 million electric vehicles will be on the road by 2015. And all those cars will need the same thing, a place to charge their batteries. The shortage of charging stations is one of the biggest hurdles for the adoption of electric cars. It's also an opportunity.
This is the culmination of sort of this idea that started more than 20 years ago.
Kristen Helsel works for AV, a company that builds and sells car charging stations. AV partners with Nissan to sell charging units. They also help install them in the homes of people who buy Leafs.
I think the most important thing is that Nissan is providing a full solution for their consumers, and that includes a Nissan-branded product made by AV.
One challenge car manufacturers have is how to sell to people who don't have home garages. In a formula that could best be described as build it and they will come, companies like the Car Charging Group have announced big car charger installation projects across the country.
This is the level 2 Coulomb unit charge point system.
Car Charging Group sells chargers made by other companies and has plans to install 10 chargers at the Mall of America by the end of December.
Our market is really anywhere that a car is parked where it's not in your home, and even for the home user, when they're outside of home, they need facilities to charge their car as well. That's our marketplace.
These aren't the first chargers to be made available to the public. In the late 90s, chargers were installed in garages scattered around California. Today, they sit largely unused. The chargers are free for customers who pay for parking, but the plugs are out of date. Another challenge for electric vehicles is their impact on the electric grid. Cars like the Tesla draw more power than the smaller Leaf. And depending on the car, they could use as much energy as a small house.
That kind of a demand on the local distribution grid during peak can be a real problem.
Utilities like San Francisco-based PG&E are also concerned about what happens in neighborhoods where there are a lot of early adopters.
Our expectation is that those people that have a Prius or a hybrid of some sort today will be some of the early adopters of the electric vehicles when they come available. The interesting thing about that is that those people tend to be located in the same communities.
So far, cars are only being sold in a few select markets, mostly in the Midwest or the West Coast. But companies like AV and Car Charging Group see this as the first phase, and both are looking ahead to the days when electric cars will be plugged in across the country. The question is no longer if there will be charging stations, but when, and who will control the market.
We, as a business, have to be in any market as quickly as we can. The first to enter the space, we then have that space.
In New York for MSNBC.com, I'm JJ Ramberg.